What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Trail and Travel channel. My name is Erica, and today we're going to be hiking Mount Timpanogos. This is a very, very iconic hike for Utah County and Utah in general. This hike was definitely on my bucket list because I lived in Utah County for 18 years and I've lived in Utah for most of my life, and I have never hiked this mountain before. Mount Timpanogos is located up the canyon from Provo, Utah, and there are actually two trailheads that you can take to get to the peak of Mount Timpanogos. There's one from Aspen Grove, which is just above Sundance, the ski resort, and then there is also another trail up American Fork Canyon called Timpanogos. So the day before we decided to hike Mount Timpanogos, Brock and I decided to stay in a campground that was up American Fork Canyon called Little Mill Campground. We planned on hiking the summit from Timpanogos Trailhead, and so we stayed about 15 minutes outside of that trailhead. My sister had read some reviews. She read online that about 5 a.m., typically on the weekends, the parking lot for the Timpanogos Trailhead is full, which means you have to park in the pullouts, adding a little bit of mileage to your trail, or you can risk the ticket and park on the side of the road. So at 4:15 we pulled out of our campsite and drove to Timpanogos Trailhead, and about 4:30 we got there and it was completely filled already. There were tons of cars. I could not believe how many people were attempting the summit on this side of the mountain. So we drove around and looked for a pullout that we could park in, and we really didn't find one. We found one that was about 1.5 to 2 miles away, which would just add a ridiculous amount of mileage to the whole trail. So we met up with the other half of our party, my dad and my two sisters. We decided to go to the Aspen Grove Trailhead. It is about a 20 to 30 minute drive from the Timpanogos side to the Aspen Grove side. So we did spend some time driving. The parking lot on this side of Timpanogos was pretty empty. I was actually really surprised. We got on the trail at about 6 a.m. So this was much later than we initially thought we were going to get on the trail, but we were all just excited that we actually found a spot to park and that we could actually get on the trail. The first mile of this trail is pretty low key. Some of it is like roughly paved and not a ton of elevation gain. The first mile we really didn't see a whole lot. It was still pretty dark, so we weren't able to capture a whole lot of what was going on in the first mile. But mile 2, it started to lighten up a little bit. We could start seeing everything. Mile 2, you kind of go through these trees and you start seeing waterfalls, and it's very beautiful. The ground is a little bit more dirt and not so rocky, not paved. So mile 2 was very beautiful. Mile 3, we started gaining some serious elevation. It does get steeper and it gets significantly rockier from about mile 2 up. About 3.5 miles in, we took our first break, ate some snacks, drank some water, and just relaxed for a second. And we had plans to just take it easy and take this hike very slow. From about mile 4 to about mile 4.5, 5-ish, the weather actually started getting pretty hot. The sun came up and the clouds kind of went away. So I was expecting the rest of the hike to be pretty warm, and I was actually getting a good sweat on. The elevation gain is definitely significant during that time. You're climbing quite a bit and you can look down and see the valley below you, and it's so beautiful. However, at about mile 5, all of a sudden these clouds came out of nowhere. We started getting up into the bowl area just before Emerald Lake. It started sprinkling on us. As we continued on and got closer to Emerald Lake, it was downpouring on us.
Torrential downpour.
Are you loving it?
No.
everyone in our party was prepared for the rain, and so at this point we reached Emerald Lake. We could see up onto the top of Timp. It was 50 degrees, it was raining, everyone was soaking wet. Only a couple of us had rain jackets. A lot of us were cold, and we decided that it was in our best interest to turn around at this point. It was super unfortunate, and I wish we would have been able to summit, but I think it was for the best. I hear that after that point there's a rock field that you have to cross that takes a lot of time and is very tedious, and it probably would have been pretty dangerous in the rain. As far as elevation gain, we got maybe 2,500 feet from Emerald Lake. Looking up, you could tell that there was a lot of elevation gain to get to that point. Hiking in the rain was really beautiful and quite an amazing experience. I don't know how many people get to hike Mount Timpanogos in monsoon season and experience all that rain, so I thought it was pretty amazing. Luckily, there wasn't very much lightning going on. We did see one strike on our way down, however it was in the distance. At the point we turned around, we got about 5.5 miles up, and so total the trip was about 11 miles. I believe from the Aspen Grove trailhead, this hike is typically 14 or 15 miles. So we were a couple miles away from reaching the top of Timp. It did rain on us for, I would say, a couple miles on the way down. And then it wasn't rainy, but it was cold. You could see clouds climbing up the mountains, and it was absolutely beautiful on the way down. On the way back down, we got to see the waterfalls again and see them in relatively full light, which was really beautiful. Overall, hiking Mount Timpanogos was such an incredible experience. Someday I will get back up there and conquer Mount Timpanogos, and I am so excited to share that with you in the future. Alright, that is going to wrap up this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you've ever hiked Mount Timpanogos, let me know in the comments below how your experience was, if you got to the summit, if you didn't. I want to know everything about it. Remember to subscribe to my channel to see more videos just like this one on hiking, on travel, all the good things in between. And thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you have an incredible day, and I will